Welcome back, everybody. How you doing? It's me. It's IHateWill. Today we are playing Funk the World, which is a little bit of a Minecraft vanilla experience. We are currently cleaning up these roads in our little starter village because I do not like them. This andesite was always going to be a placeholder. And once it was in place, I did not like the direction that it went. I think because we have so many sharp edges. And this is Minecraft, so there's always sharp edges. But within these houses, it's very straight. I think maybe we need to stick to more of a straight path instead of having any curves. I like curves, but it felt like it didn't fit here. So we're going to clear all that, cover it in with some dirt. We do have some curved roads leading out of the village. There's a little one right here, and here's a bigger one over here. We're going to keep that. That's fine. We will work, whatever we build over here, we will work within that. But here, in our Pumpkin Falls village, we are going in a different direction. Let's take a sleep. Okay, good. All those entities are back. So, in the previous episode, I had a little bit of a visitor. Namely, Steph, my wife, my wonderful wife, whom I love very much, visited me over the local area network. Let's see, I have mutton here. That's beef. I have mutton here? I have mutton here! Yes. Alright, let's see, where'd that beef go? And whenever I play with Steph, it gets a little bit chaotic. I do love it. It's my favorite, one of my favorite things to do in this whole world is play Minecraft with my wife. But she can be a bit of a bully, and I guess I can be a bit bossy when we play together. So maybe she's being a bully is justified. But it was nice to have the company. Well, during that episode, she made a few suggestions about that waterfall, and then we talked about it further when the cameras were off, and the recording devices were off. And I think she's right. I think I'm going to work on that today. But while we do that, I'm going to do a bit of a talk with you. Because part of my solo LPs that I like doing, especially Minecraft, is I like to talk a bit more personal with you. You know, when I do a console game or some kind of action-adventure game or RPG, you know, the game takes precedence. Minecraft, the thing I like about it the most, and the thing I like about watching other people's videos, is that the game can stand on its own. You know, you get in-depth with the more technical details of redstone or the designing aspects than the houses, you know, themselves. You can talk about all that, or the game takes a backseat to your personality, and you talk about whatever you want. Some of my favorite videos are just guys, you know, growing trees, chopping down trees, strip mining, and just getting a little bit personal, talking about things that are bothering them or moments in their lives that are important. Oh, not that. Let's go. And I think we're going to do that today because I've been thinking a lot about the relationship between fathers and their children. And thinking a lot about my own relationship with my father growing up and my relationship now with my own throughout the years. I already said my own father. And how that's also a reflection of what his own relationship with his own father's like. Or was like. Grandpa's no longer with us. And, you know, my dad is very different from his father in a lot of ways. I am very different from my father in a lot of ways. And I know that when Steph and I have a child, that child would be very different from me as well. How different am I? Well, I'm playing Minecraft. I'm an adult. That is something my dad would never, ever do. Even if he grew up in this day and age, he would never play Minecraft. Like, I joke about this, but my dad would be the type that would lock me in a locker and then march away shouting, "Kiss Army rules." That's the kind of relationship we would have had if we went to the same high school where we were unrelated. If we were unrelated. I'm sorry, I'm having a bit of a talky-talk issue right now. Let's see, do we like this as a 3x3 road? Let's look. Not a 3x3, just a 3 wide road. Like I said, talking issues. Not feeling all that great today, but we're gonna be okay. That could work. I might want it to come out on this side more. I don't know. But that's neither here nor there. Let's go up here. We'll go all the way up here. Do I have ender pearls? I do not have ender pearls. This is going to be an old-fashioned pillar job. But I've been thinking about that because you get to a certain point in your life and you start wondering, how did I get here? Where did I come from? Why is this happening? And I'm in one of those periods right now. I do believe. And it's got me thinking, because I made it no secret. Eventually I want to do Minecraft and YouTube in particular full time. It's what I want my job to be. It's YouTube. Maybe not Minecraft, I don't know. But I like playing Minecraft so much, and you really have such options to go with when you play Minecraft. As far as how you want your channel to go. That's why I play a lot of Minecraft, or I did. I know recently I haven't been so much, but that's why I likes it. Oop, not there. Right there. Right. Oh, ran out. Okay, right here. How about this? And that, reminded me of another time in my life when I was writing. No. That's where the water is. Okay. And that was it was a hard time for me because I was also working for my father at his body shop. And my father is a business owner. And the business that he owned was a collision repair shop, and good little bit of business that he did. Blue collar work, but it's certain. Oh, I'm starving. But somebody was just sitting there watching me, going, "This guy is just whining about his daddy, starving to death." No, I'm not whining about my dad. I'm just talking. Can I talk? Jeez. Okay, let's take a look at what's going on down here now. But yeah, Dad owned his own body shop. And I worked there pretty much since middle school? Maybe before that. But certainly I started picking up tools in middle school on a regular basis. All through high school, through most of college, and throughout a lot of my early 20s. Just a lot of work with Dad. And meanwhile, while I was doing that, I was miserable because I just hated it. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have used dirt to cover up where the waterfalls are. I have an idea, and I think my idea is going to be a solid one. We're going to work this into the design, I think. Have some kind of aqueduct come out. I don't know. I'm going to have to work it out in creative mode, I think. But for now, I'm going to get rid of that just so I can... Let's build a city around it first, and then work on this. Let's get rid of this, too. But yeah, I worked at my dad's body shop for most of my life. Most of my life, yeah. That's definitely the best way to describe that. And it was a miserable existence. And, I was always hesitant to bring that up with my dad during all that because I didn't want to hurt his feelings. Because he seemed to really enjoy it. He liked his work. We talked about it, and he always expressed a lot of pride and a lot of happiness and satisfaction with how he earned his money. I was not like that. I was never like that. I was an artist. I was a thinker. Had a high IQ. Got into some good schools and kind of just walked away from a lot of them. Because I always felt like I was thinned, I was asked to do this and work with Dad, and my heart was somewhere else. And that was really exhausting for me. To think about where I'd rather be and where I'd be better off the entire time I was working for my dad was, it was distracting. I never got a gift for what he could do. They said my dad, and it's hard for me to judge because the only person I ever worked for was my dad, but when I would talk to other people about my dad's reputation within that industry, that business, they would say that my dad was like a Da Vinci with metal. Probably a bad way to describe it, but these aren't educated men. These are not guys that went to college. These are guys that developed a trade early in their lives, usually from their own fathers, and that's my dad's situation there. But yeah, they would describe him as a very talented man within their field. And a lot of times they would assume that I had the same talent. And that is not true. I probably didn't learn as well because I was not into it. But I'm also going to venture to guess that even if I was really into it, I could never be that great at it. You know what your skills are, and my skills aren't that. I know what my skills are. Much better with a pen. Give me a pen, I'll write you a joke. Give me a pen, I'll write you a story. That's what I was good at. Writing copy and making people laugh. On the regular, I could do that. And I just, never developed the skill for what he could do. I never wanted to. So I think a lot about that lesson. How I wasted so many years being miserable and half stepping into this field that I was very good at. I don't want to toot my own horn, but the same things people said about my dad and his work and what he did, they said about me and what I did. And the question was always there, when you moving to New York, when you moving to LA, when you doing this, when you doing that. And I always felt torn. And I would go, to my dad for some advice, kind of pussyfooting around it, I really want to go do this. And I felt like I needed permission to do that, which was weird, because by the time all this was happening, I was an adult, And I never got it. I would get doubt, that's not a real job, or it's a fine hobby. That's what really drove me nuts. Once I just flat out say, hey, I gotta go do this. Otherwise, I'm going to lose it forever. He would say things like, Spielberg still makes movies in his 50s. You can always wait. Nah, I didn't really want to make movies. I would. I wanted to write for TV, but that was not the opportunities I had before me. But I think he also forgets that Spielberg also directed Jaws at a young age, went to UCLA, or USC film school, Did a lot of stuff to prepare and lived in LA when all this is happening. Oh, I turned Minecraft music on. It's been a while since I listened to it. I really enjoy it, so you're just gonna have to deal with it, I think. Maybe I'll play the Minecraft music whenever it's an episode like this, where I'm just kind of doing some busy work talking. But yeah, that was not a good conversation on a good day that we had, and I think it was my fault going to him for advice, only because that's not his world. You know what I mean? You can't fault somebody for giving bad advice in something that's not their world. Because, let me tell you guys this, if you guys want to be a writer, if you want to be anything creative, anything artistic, do it now. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Do it now. Start writing now. Don't tell yourself you can always focus on that time. No, do it now. Shut up. Because especially with writing, that's the example we're going to go with. Because that's the only one I really know. The more time that you live, the less time you write. You want to observe everything that happens. And you want it to explode and inside you and explode onto the paper or the word processing software. And writing, I've talked about this before with some of my contemporaries. Writing is just life flattened. Okay? Even if it's fiction, even if it's a fictional account, writing is just life flat. That's all it is. And so if you have this teenage angst, write it. Don't stop and say, I'll capture this later. Write it now. Write it now. Write it when it's genuine. Don't try to recapture that when you're 25, 30, 40, 50, because you're not going to know what that feels like anymore. You know? You shouldn't know what that feels like anymore. You might be able to channel it on occasion, maybe a whiff of something, but you're looking at it from a different perspective. And that's the wrong way to do it. Get it while it's fresh. Get it while it's hot. And so that was some bad advice that I listened to. God. Thinking about all that. Like I said, I don't blame him. I should have been mad enough at the time, because I was an adult, to say, you know what? You don't know what you're talking about. This is what I have to do. Should have moved to LA. Should have moved to New York. One of the two. Maybe even Chicago. But those other two are better choices. You gotta give it an honest go. You know what I mean? Best of my knowledge, I only lived once. And I wasted some primo years of doing what other people wanted me to do. Now, there's nothing wrong if that's what you have to do. You have to work blue collar, you know. There are far worse things to be than blue collar. There are far worse things to have than inheriting your father's successful business. You know, everything's relative. But it's just not what I wanted, and I had an opportunity, and I blew it. So you try to pick up the pieces when you're older, and it just doesn't work. You know, you lost it. What you write is not what you used to write, and people are like, I wanted what you used to do. Well, I can't do that no more. I can't. I don't have that in my head anymore. I've moved on. It's sad, but... Alright. Sorry about that, getting a little real on you. But tying that back into relationships between fathers and sons. And I don't hate my dad. Don't think that at all. He didn't understand it, and he had the best of intentions. Giving me a business would be a good thing. Teaching me a skill is a good thing. But I don't think he realized I had talent. What I hope for my kid, if I'm ever lucky enough to have a child, I want to be able to recognize when my kid has a talent. recognize that the people telling my kid that he has a talent has connections, or at least know what they're talking about, and hopefully I can figure out a way to work with my kid and get her or him. I always go with the feminine pronoun first. I guess I always wanted a little girl. Teach them, or help them cultivate it. Really earn it. And really work on it. And I hope I'm that kind of dad. I also hope that this YouTube thing works out, because I really enjoy it. It's my favorite thing to do. Alright, that's gonna have to be that for now, I think. With that waterfall gone, this makes no sense. We're gonna have to get rid of this, I think. If we like it, we can always replace it. I mean, we hate what we did, and we can always replace it. Let's get rid of source block. Here and here. That. I put a lot down, didn't I? About you here. You here. Okay. Okay, we got a little lake. Bit of a high rise coming out right here. Alright. Okay, and just like that, how you look now. See, it doesn't, to me, the river doesn't make sense unless we say that the river flows from here. That could make sense, but then I don't know where's the water source really coming from, you know? There it made more sense to me because the water flowed from the mountain, so that was nice mountain water flying down into that river. I like the aqueduct idea. I do have to work it out in creative first. Luckily, I have the seed to this map. So it'd be easy to kind of fly around and figure out what I want to do with it. Oh, get rid of you. But what this will allow us to do is kind of build around here, figure out what we are going to be really doing with this area, because we are 13 episodes in. I should be moving on to a new area, I think, or at least having something more substantial than this, but I don't know. Let's jump up here, take a look. Yeah, I think she was probably right. I think Seth was right about all this. But I think that's going to do it for today's episode. I just wanted to give a little talk. I know it's a bit weird, getting personal in a Minecraft video, but sometimes you just want to do that. And I think I'm going to do that every once in a while. And when I do, I'm going to listen to the Minecraft music because I like it so much. I think next episode we're going to do something more substantial. Do a lot more building. Or redstone. We could also do the chicken farm. Not necessary yet. Still doing okay on food. So that's going to do it for today's episode. Don't care if you enjoyed. That's me getting real with you. You may not have liked it. God, can I get real again for a second? I'm losing my ability to speak. Used to be a very articulate person. I would not get hung up on my words. I would not slobber my way through things. I don't know what's going on with me. Let's get really real here. My optometrist thinks I need to go get my brain scanned because he's noticed some odd things behind my eye. And when asked, I stated a bunch of weird stuff that coincides with some kind of neurological damage. My symptoms, migraines in certain areas, or headaches that start in certain areas and turn into migraines. The kind of nerve damage that he saw in my right eye coincides with somebody that got punched too much. And I got punched too much in the eye, in my right eye, because I was a southpaw when I fought. I'm scared. And I listen to myself speak a lot because I edit my videos. And I make a lot of videos. And I hear the slurred words. I hear the words jumbled together. Steph makes fun of me sometimes because of that. Because in real life I do that. And it's really scary. So there's that. Okay, hope you enjoyed. This is Will. I am signing off. Take care of yourself. Wow, what a bum way to end it. And I'll see you next time.